Alright. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdullah Umar Rahman. I am a 10th grade student in a school called IDN boarding school somewhere in Indonesia, specifically Jomblo. And it's sort of like a mature class, so I choose the designing major. And today I'm going to talk about my homeland, Kuwait. It's a country somewhere in the Arabian Peninsula. You may heard of it more of as an oil country. This is how it most likely looked like. So these yellow ones are mostly where the oil came from, or the goldish ones. Well, Kuwait is somewhere near if you know where Dubai is, it's in a country called Emirate, UAE, United Arab Emirates. And Emirate is somewhere above there. Meanwhile, Emirate's right there, somewhere. Iraq is on that side right there. Britain, and of course, Islamically, you know where is Saudi. I don't need to explain that. If you compare the size of each country in the Arabian there, Saudi is, of course, the biggest one. But let's say, I don't really know accurately about European size, but if you know Indonesian size, like the country Indonesia, the size, Jakarta is somewhere around the first end there. Kuwait is basically not even half of it. It's like 3 or 4 times smaller than Jakarta even. But it's rich. It's a good country. So the region of Kuwait is in the Middle East. Well, generally speaking, that's where all Arab countries are, like the East. But personally, I call it the Persian Gulf, like I put in the title earlier. The capital city of Kuwait is, literally Kuwait City. They don't really give much thought about it, like just give it a straight, simple name. You don't have to complicate stuff there. And also, the language there is obviously an Arab country. In an Arab country, they use Arabic. But even though it is based on an Arab country, it also uses English as its general second language. Because if you went to Kuwait someday, or like walk around there, or even you're from there, you'd probably see, like, especially in the big part of the city, where like you go everywhere, you'd see the titles everywhere in English like that. You'd see an Arabic title, but then a second title in English, so like 2 titles. Maybe like McDonald's. McDonald's here, they have the English title, so like the square stall with M on it usually. Yeah, they have the English part on like the left side, the Arabic part on the right side. The currency is what you call dinar. There are many kinds of dinar, like Bahrain dinar. There's also Iraqi dinar. Wait, I think it's Iraqi, is it? I forgot. But speaking of dinars, Kuwait dinar is like, you could say, the highest currency size so far in the world. Comparing it to rupiah, Indonesian rupiah, it's somewhat around 50,000 rupiah. 1 dinar is equivalent to 50,000 rupiah. And converting it to dollar, it's somewhere between $3 to $5. At most $5. As an additional, I compared it once to Japanese yen, and it's somewhere around 400, 500 yen something. The population of Kuwait is, well, surely it's small. It's less, just like somewhere around 4 million. Yeah, 4 million. But 74.6% of it are the Muslim populations. For Kuwaitis, obviously it's a Kuwait country, so half of the population is Kuwaiti. And it's regarded as an international country, so there's more than like hundreds of, people from more than hundreds of countries came to Kuwait. Oh, wait, we're not done with that. Yeah. More than hundreds of countries came to Kuwait, like for various reasons, jobs, school, or even learning, college. Yeah, I don't have to explain that. They still count as one of these populations. So it's not just like the citizens from Kuwait themselves. It's a small country, so we don't expect much. And so this is the flag of Kuwait. Well, putting some art there below. So the white one here, these four words. Okay, I'm a little into elements, so I explain them based on elements, like white as light. The white color on the flag represents their deeds. The shadow, the black one, it represents their battles during the last centuries and somewhere before that. And then the green one, the nature of lands. It's, well, I know, Arab is a desert, Kuwait is a desert, but they put green in it because like lands are normally emblemed green. In red, it's supposed to be as in like their sword, swords, their battles, they use swords, those times. I put up flames of swords because of like how fierce battles are. Normally it would be blood, but flames sound better for me. So Kuwait was formed in the 18th century somewhere or before that. Accurately unknown, but it was formed by this Bani, they call it Bani Utbah from the Anazah tribe. I have no info on that one much. I only know that they're called Bani Utbah from the Anazah tribe. So their leader was also unknown. But then, in 1961, Kuwait was founded as a country by Sheikh. Yeah, we call them kings now. Sheikh, kings. Not related, but it was founded in 1961 as a country, and the leader was a family from Ahmed al-Jabir al-Sabah. That's the family name, the long family name. The first leader, I forgot the name of the first leader. He's still leading since then until somewhere around the 1970s or 1980s. That is when a war outbreak came to Kuwait. Well, a war outbreak to Kuwait invaded by Iraq, the Iraq country. Because like, did you see the map earlier? Iraq is literally here. Well, Kuwait is all here. And Iraq invaded Kuwait for the oil. Since that's a big source of oil. Well, I checked a while ago, and Kuwait has tons of stores of good oil that could last for up to at least 700 years more. Or more. At least 700 years. And so the war outbreak at the 1980 ends, 1989 or 1990. It ended within a year or two. So Kuwait liberated in 1991. And now it's officially a country. Voila. It was led by Sheikh was it Sabah Ahmed al-Jabir al-Sabah? I forgot his name. But I do know that he started it was still him. The son of the founder of Kuwait, when it was founded, and then when liberated, still him. Until 2006, it changed. Well, the year I was born, it changed into Sabah Ahmed al-Jabir. I think that's his name. Their names are like two. It's kind of long. Also, it has similar words in it, so I forgot the order. Sorry. But then, bad news, the king died at 2020 or 2021. Somewhere around this year. So, ever since last year, since the king died, his brother, not brother, I can't say brother related, but his brother is the one who continued the throne and has become the king. Formerly known as the vice. I don't know what kind of vice, but the king's right hand man. So like if you look at Kuwait's Liberation Day, it used to be like the king's here, and then his brother, the one who's the second hand, is on the right side. But now I don't know. It happened last year, and I've been staying in Indonesia for like 3 years so far. I'll be going back to Kuwait. I mean, I still live in Kuwait, but I stayed in Indonesia for school. Alright, and the next one. Kuwait City, the capital city of Kuwait. For a country this small, it's a pretty crowded city. Like, you can see these buildings, they're pretty much bigger than you expected. Like, a road in Kuwait. You see these road size. Unlike most countries where you see only 2 cars can go one at a time, like side by side, crossing one road. It's not 2 cars here, 2 cars here, but no, they fit up to 4 cars. No. Yeah, they can fit up to 4 cars in the road at once, even small roads. So if you compare their sizes, it's actually a big city, even though it's a small country. And for you, if you're visiting Kuwait someday, well, I really recommend you to visit, at least for chilling. If you like the city, yeah, you can stay in Kuwait City. They got a bunch of resort hotels, also some good places to stay in. Although I personally prefer apartments, but that decent shops still there. Oh, and don't forget the beach area. They have a bunch of good restaurants. Although remember, dinner's big, so it's kind of pricey. Next one is one of my favorite places to go in Kuwait City was Masjid Al Kabir, also known as the Grand Mosque of Kuwait. I know it's a big place by that time. Okay, last time I went there, I know it's a big place, but I did not expect it until like a few months ago. I checked that the size is actually longer than a kilometer square, somewhere around like 45 square meters, somewhat. Like, it's not only this is there, all the back here, it's also the area of this Grand Mosque. So like, it belongs to this Grand Mosque, even though this is the core. The others are their sub-buildings. They have over 144 windows in this one mosque. Oh, and here, okay, so this area is like a praying mosque right here. It used to be praying area too, if like there's too many people inside and you can't fit any more in there. But now since the pandemic just started outbreaking, all inside here is just fitting for people to pray. And here, it's used as sometimes as a playground for kids. So like, the history of this masjid, well, until now it's still used, it just came back before it stopped for a while. Earlier before that, this used to be a place where every Quran memorizer, everyone who memorized Quran in Halaqah, especially those who wanting to get to participate for like their examination. Everyone is of the Quran. Here's the technique we use back in Kuwait. In Kuwait, we don't memorize Quran by juz. We memorize Quran by hizb. One hizb is like a half of a juz. So it's 10 pages. One juz is 20 pages. So every 3 months, they held an exam here. And you could take a test, of course, more than one hizb, but that would also like drop your score. Not really score, but reward point, and then your scoring, because you need accurate scoring, more detail in like memorizing. So it's per hizb, they do the accurate scoring of one hizb and then one. So like, you can see the difference, because they also have the overall score there. You could just add them up, and also rewards decent. Okay, one of the other places I'd recommend if you like museums. Well, everybody does, I think, except if you're a chef game. This museum is called Al Salim. It is, you could say, kind of like a national museum, but it's not that old. Like they renovate it once and they grow it bigger. It has at least five kinds of different museums in it. So like it's a museum in a museum. I recommend this place for you visitors. So when you enter the place, the building would somewhat look like this. Yeah, I mean these are the parking lots even like out there. Yeah, you can see from here. So there are a total of 6 buildings inside one whole museum. Not really a building though, because like it is a building but it has no roof. And there are 6 of it. 5 of them being a museum, 1 of them being an extra building that I never entered. First museum, yeah, this is the first one. It's the rocket space engineering. Wait, no, that's the one that you enter at first. But if I go in order, the first museum is dinosaurs and old animals. I did not include every single picture in it, but one of them is dinosaur, or like the old ancient animal. And the second museum is about, well, it's also about history, okay? Because like this is the history of animals, and then the other one is the history of humans, including Arab, especially Arab. And then the second museum is technology. Second and third. No wait, third and fourth. First and second is history. Third and fourth is this rocket space engineer, including airplanes and other technology machine. Like there's one for the space. There's also one for like technological science for like human. One side is like for transport vehicles, and also like robots, machines, everything there. One side is kind of like astrological one. You know, space and stuff. Astronomical science, to be precise. Oh, and I forgot what's the last one, but that's not the one I would go for at least. All I can say is that it's about human bystanders. And then the next one, the avenue. Basically, what I'm doing here is just recommending you to wait if you have time. So there's a building in Kuwait called the Avenue as well, like some other countries have. Avenues are usually big, but in Kuwait it's probably somewhere around a kilometer long, and then to the back I never actually counted, but to the side it's 1 kilometer long. And the inside is something like a city. Yeah, a small city. Because it looked like because the outer building is something like this, but the inside of the building is like these are glass. Okay, these balls are glass. These are not glass. Okay, the silver one are not glass, but these balls are glass. And obviously in the daytime, from the inside you can see the sky. And you can feel like the whole thing is somewhere in the city district. Oh, by the way, just technically speaking, picture might be blurry, but it's like a city with different culture. So like you mix all cultures there. Some buildings kind of indicate somewhere around the Europeans, but then a few buildings later it indicates a little bit about Arab, and then somewhat Asia here and there. So it's like a mixed city, and also like along the way there you'd find stores like branded stores. I recommend you to go there. Oh, speaking of the stores, you'd look for food as well. Food stores or even restaurants. And some of the Arabian foods I would really recommend is the Judge Fire. It's roast chicken, kind of like crispy roast chicken. we call it khubz there, even though technically khubz means bread. But we don't eat this with rice. It is somewhat meaty, a little sweet, because it has like soy sauce on it. It's cooked with soy sauce. And then next, I recommend kebab. I don't know what kind of kebab you know, because in Indonesia, kebabs are basically like those sandwiches. And in America, kebabs are kind of like barbecue, in the Western specifically. But in Arab, kebab is a long loaf of beef, or meat, or lamb. A piece of meat, usually a few pieces of meat lined up with, depends on the kind of kebab. If it's beef or lamb, usually they would serve you with some sort of chicken barbecue. And don't forget additional dishes as fries. If the kebab is chicken, they would serve you with beef barbecues. Like siapsi. And also majbuz. If you don't have biryani rice before, majbuz is basically something like biryani rice, but biryani has a lot of toppings, a lot of ingredients. Meanwhile, majbuz is something simpler. Majbuz is something simpler, majbuz rice. Usually, biryani and majbuz are kind of similar, so they serve it either chicken or beef, sometimes lamb. Oh, I have a little time, so I'll just head on to the snacks then. If by chance, not only in Kuwait, you came somewhere to Arab, you must try at least these three. Number one, shawarma. A meat sandwich, a meat roll sandwich, usually what you would kind of see like taco, except that it's roll. Originally from Turkey, but it's also a tradition in Arab now. They taste like damn yellow meat. Usually you eat them with sauce though. And then fataya. Fataya has two kinds that I know. Some are sweet and then some are kind of salty, sour. This one's cheese. And so fataya is basically a cheese bread. Normally cheese bread, sometimes meat bread. It's just an Arabified version of like what breads you usually see, but tastes worse. And lastly, best snack of all, samosa. It's a triangular pastry with, normally you'd find it with vegetable or meat. And cheese. Cheese is the best one. Okay, for whatever reason, I'll recommend you to eat these three. And, oh yeah, almost forgot about clothings. In Arab, you might wanna, like, not in generally, especially somewhere, not in Islamic country, how you wear. You'd wanna wear something more full covering. Like, men, okay, for Arabian guys, they usually wear this thing called izdasha, the white coat thing. And they would always wear that kind of cap, the cloth cap. It's called batra. And for the woman, that normally wear a black full cloth with like, what you usually see is just like a piece of long cloth, 3 pieces of long cloth, like 1 and 2, and then like an extra cloth around in black called the abaya. But if you're not saying non-Muslim, you can just wear like full clothes, full covering clothes, like for guys at least, okay? Don't wear shorts, like literally this side. That's not something well appropriate there. Except if you're somewhere in this small areas or like where it's not too crowded, it's fine. My battery's almost dying, so I'll just head to the end. This is the Avenue Mall where I take part once, and I wish I was there to say thank you for watching and listening. Goodbye.